So, on to the last kind of big thing that I went to was Shepton Flee, which is in Shepton Mallet in Somerset, like I think I said before. And it's huge, it was gigantic. Huge is probably an understatement. It was frigging humongous. And there's just so much stuff. I don't think we actually got a chance to see all the stuff. We arrived at 1:30 because we overslept. It was already, they were packing up. This was on Easter Sunday. And it was just gigantic, it was huge. Anyway, it was £4.50 entrance. I think it was okay, reasonable, because it was just so gigantic. Anyway, I was planning on getting a sword there possibly. Came away with something slightly less, as you might have seen. So I'll go through kind of the kind of chronologically what I got. So I first walked in and I saw this. This is like a Horlicks mixer bottle basically. And you can see on the side there are the little measurements for the amount of Horlicks mixture that you put in there. And then inside it are all of these lovely little matchbox fronts and backs. And what someone had done is, what we think someone's done is that someone has got a whole load of matchboxes and they've been collecting them over the years. And they've broken the fronts off, or they've just managed to carefully peel the fronts off of them, and they've put them all into kind of on backs of like some plywood, and they've kept them in a Horlicks jar, and then the person's died or given it on or whatever, and I got it for £3. Couldn't really complain. It was on a £3 table, so yeah. We then moved on, looking around the whole place. It was gigantic. I then saw this. It's a walking stick, really, just a cane, gentleman's cane, possibly early 20th century, hopefully 19th century, could be anything up to 1920s, because my other cane that I got's 1920s. Anyway, no silver hallmark on this. However, I think this could be an Indian one, because the stars on the top, which are there, are very, very similar to the stars on this Indian thing, the Indian paper opener. And also, I've seen an example of the Indian one, an Indian cane rather, and it's got the same kind of broken bottom as this one, which is just very interesting. So the guy originally wanted a tenner for it. I kind of went, it's got a bit of a broken bottom, I don't really want it. Walked off, and just as I was walking off, said £5, and I was like, yeah, okay, so I got it for £5. I think that was pretty good. Got it for less than my either 1920 or 95 cane, because the 1795 or 1920 dated cane was a £5, no, £10, and that was a £5 for that cane there. So that was that one there. Next things I got was, I was walking along, and I found this in kind of a whole load of junk, and I asked the guy what it was, and he asked me what it was. So I said, I know what it is. It's a World War II British equipment or kit bag carrying strap. So he then went, oh, you know what it is, so you can have it for £2. So I got it for £2. It needs to be cleaned up a lot. It's covered in rust. So yeah, and that's kind of really good. And you just slide all of the loops in your kit bag through there, then you put a padlock there, and then you'd be able to carry it by that handle, or it could be looped into a whole load of other kit bags and carried. British. Anyway, I think that was quite good. So yeah, now moving on, we hadn't kind of bought anything. It was getting towards the end of the day, and then we found this. Now this was a really good find. There was this guy and he was packing all the stuff up and he was just wanting to go. He had a whole lot of really interesting stuff. I'd have liked to have bought all the stuff he had, but I mean, that would have been a lot of money. Anyway, so I'll just get out and show you all the stuff I got from him. So guys, I kind of got a little mini display set up here. But first off, I saw the guy's stuff and I thought it's got a whole lot of nice stuff here. First off, I saw this, and this is either for a sealing wax stamp. So what you do is you screw into the bottom there your seal, and then you'll be able to do stamp stuff, or you could put a rubber stamp and just stamp a document, etc. I saw that was great, and I asked how much do you want that for, and he was like, how many of those do you want? And I just said only one. And he went, I'll have it like for free. So I was like, well, that's great. So then I looked at another thing and I saw he had this, which is a cigarette box, probably from the 1920s or 30s. It's curved, so it makes me think it's probably 1920s for use in kind of like a waistcoat, or what Americans call a vest. I keep calling them vests, I don't know why. Anyway, so that is same make and style as the other ones that I have, which are this one here and this one here. Now this one here I've done some more research on, and I found that the cigarette is a 1920s through to 40s brand, which is the Deresque minor cigarette, which I believe was quite popular in the 40s. So that means this is 1940s probably, or at least. Anyway, so that one there is probably made after this one here. So I'd probably say that in the order of how things went, this one was the first one, kind of the style of most of the ones in kind of the 19th century, early 20th century, where they just have the cigarettes just stuck under here like that. And then it moved on to these kind of 1910s, 20s, more likely 1920s rather, and 30s. The cigarettes just plop down, got the same springs as the other one, like that, see. And then it moved on to these ones, which is the one where it belongs. And then, which is 30s, 40s, and then there's this one here, just the 1970s one, probably. Anyway, so on the bottom here, it says the Springbox cigarette case, British made, and then the patent number there, which I think is very interesting. So he originally said that would be £2, and then I suddenly saw that he had a whole load of these glasses, and these are probably Victorian, early 20th century, wouldn't say any more than that, and they were just sitting there, and I was like, oh, how much do you want for the glasses? I went, as a lot, and I was like, well, yeah, if you're offering them as a lot. He said a £5, and then I still wanted this, so he went, I'll have the lot for a £5. So I was like, that's great. And so in these, I've got, I think these are called a Schnees or something, and they're made in Salisbury. Very interesting. I've got another pair of those. And then there's another pair of glasses. I won't take them out because they're quite fragile, but they did have that clean cloth in as well. It's also made in Salisbury, but by another company. I need to give that a good clean up. There's that pair of glasses there. That pair of glasses there. That one's slightly broken because the screw that holds it in place is just gone. And then there's this one here, which is broken in another way because the glass broke, because I think they're kind of trying to pioneer a design here where they'd save money on having to produce metal all the way around the rim. It's not worked. anyway, so that's great. And so yeah, it's been broken there, so I'm trying to glue it back in place and failed. Gonna have to clean it up and try and glue it back in place myself. Anyway, so that's that one. Moving on, I went inside the building and I saw this whole lot of guy with a whole lot of militaria. You had these two Arbeitsbuch, and I'm always incredibly careful. Any Arbeitsbuch I see, I automatically think it's a fake until I've actually looked inside. I'll just show you the inside of one, because I'm 100% sure these are both originals. They both smell of original paper, because the original documents do have a smell to them. Also, kind of the quality of the materials you can see. I've zoomed in with a magnifying glass on the name and all of the writing. I've not managed to see that they have been printed. As in printed with a computer, for example. And inside here, you can also see that there's ink stamps from the other side seeping through, and that's incredibly hard to fake. And so yeah, sorry about this. Anyway, the camera ran out of memory, but I got both of these for 20 quid. I think that was absolutely great. I think this is the one which has stuff in the back. Yes, it does. Also, it's incredibly hard to fake a stain from a paperclip. And also, very interesting stamp. I think that's like a DRK or civilian hospital stamp. Anyway, there's that, and there's another piece of paper here. And they're just really interesting. I got them for 20 quid. Herman Junge, I think that's how you say that man's name. And then this one was Heinrich Stilton. Anyway, both really interesting. So it's 20 quid for both of them. And I was like, well, that's great. Usually for the fakes, I've seen them go for 30, 40 quid. Or 20 quid for one. I've seen one fake which was 20 quid for that. And, well, I thought, seeing as it's 20 quid for both, and I thought why not, and I knew it was original because I'd looked at it through magnifying glasses to check that they both were original ones. So yeah, that was those. And the last thing I got was literally as we were leaving, everyone was packing up and people were just buggering off, and we passed through this area which was I think it was like all these old garden ornaments and a couple of bashed up suitcases and stuff like that, and a whole load of rusty junk. And I found this, and this is an 1861 Patent Enfield bayonet, and it was in a lot worse condition than this when I bought it. I've given it a bit of a clean up since I bought it, and here it is. Now it does have the top part of the scabbard is still attached, because I think it's probably been like a dug up relic. Anyway, this is the top part of the scabbard that survived. That's brass. It was rusted onto, you can see the goldness of the brass there, kind of peeking through the rust. So that was just kind of rusted onto here, and I managed to get rid of it by literally using just a screwdriver. No, yeah, a screwdriver and a hammer, just hammering through the rust, and I managed to get it off. So yeah, I was quite careful with it because I didn't want to break it, but it's all good. It's in quite a good condition, seeing as it is probably 150 years old. Anyway, I've tried to clean up this bit, which is where the markings would be, just on kind of the ricasso sort of area, and then the back part of it is in a lot worse condition, but still in really good condition. It's missing the little presser here for the attachment part to come away. I managed to kind of semi-get this part to move, but I don't want to try and force it just in case I just snap the back part off, because if you look through there you should be able to see that it's broken all the way through. Anyway, that was 10 quid for that. I was like, hell yeah. This very nice kind of guy kind of walked up to me as I kind of waved it at and asked how much it was. He went off, spoke to his mate, and got it for tenner. I was like, that was a good deal. That is basically all the new stuff I've got and all the stuff I've kind of been doing. I'm at the moment in process of uploading a series on my Luftwaffe 16th Luftwaffe Field Division uniform and impression, because I'm modifying the 16th Luftwaffe Field Division tunic to being a 6th Fallschirmjäger Regiment, or Fallschirmjäger Regiment 6 1st Battalion tunic. Anyway, so that is basically that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, subscribe. Bye.